All right, let's do this. Hashtags, okay? What does every old person who thinks that they know Instagram, what do they think about hashtags? What are their opinions on hashtags? They say, "Oh yeah, you got to use hashtags. They're just such easy traffic. They're so powerful. Instagram's all about the hashtag." No, it's not. Not at all. Not at all. Okay. You look it first of all, if you go to the description and all you see is like people often read the description. It's like I'd say probably 80% of the people, especially the youth who are on Instagram all the time, they instinctively read the description because usually that's where like something funny is said about the photo, or that's usually where there's a comment actually on the photo. Um, if you put hashtags there, first of all, it's spammy, it's annoying, it doesn't really add any extra value or content. It's just that. So and my proof for this, am I talking just out of thin air? No. Go look at anybody that you observe. Maybe you know someone who from high school who just blew up recently on Instagram or something like that. All these people that are just blowing up on Instagram, are they using hashtags? No, they're not. None of them are using hashtags. Better content and things like that. Funny descriptions, accurate descriptions that actually add value to the audience rather than trying to play some marketing spam is going to get you a lot further, okay? So use your description for something more meaningful. Basically, the reason people think you should use hashtags is because you get on this hashtag page, which is almost always filled with spam. So very few people actually visit that hashtag page. A lot less than you think. A lot less than you think. People often visit either the normal news feed where they can just scroll, the default view on Instagram where you can view people that you follow, or they flip over and go to the explore page. And, people often, hang on, what did I say here? I'm just trying to read here. How to get there, good content, people share. Oh, how do you get to the explore page? It mostly comes down to, if you go on the explore page right now, you'll see, if you go to click on any post, and then scroll down just below the caption and just below the comments, it'll actually say why that post is appearing there. So there's like 3 or 4 different reasons that it shows. Like it's either like you follow similar accounts like this, it says, or you like similar posts as this, people you follow like this post. But the main one I find, at least the one that I get, is when it says I often shared posts similar to this one. So if I send a post to a friend, it'll send similar posts that I recently sent to friends, or it'll show similar posts that I recently sent to friends, if that makes sense. Okay. Now, more powerful than hashtags, I find, and a lot less spammy, is location tags. So if you're in a small town, really, really powerful, because it's very easy to rank in those top 9. As you know, hashtags and locations, they have the top 9, the 3x3 that are the most popular within the past recent amount of time. And recent can change. It's an algorithm based on recency and the popularity of the post. And also the relationship that the individual that's looking at the explore tab, what their relationship is to the photos there in that hashtag. So what that means is that the top 9 posts that appear for you may not necessarily be the top 9 posts that appear for everybody else. So there's nothing that you can really do to really affect that. I mean, it's based on how close you are in the network of, it's like, okay, there's and so hashtags and locations use the same, they use the same method, it's the same algorithm basically. So let's say in Toronto, and someone made a post about EDM dance music. So dance music, okay, there's like a dance concert coming up or something. It's going to show top 9 for people who are interested in that. So generally, I mean, I'm stereotyping here, but youth, like 20, 22-year-olds. And it's not necessarily going to show for my mother if she looked at Toronto, the location tag on Instagram. She's going to see something completely different. So if you're in a small town, it might actually appear there for 6 months if it gets a solid amount of likes. Like a small town with, 30,000 people, and you get 300 likes on a photo, it'll probably stay there on the top of the location page for a couple months. So it can be very powerful. And if you're in the city, I guess, of course, you're going to get viewed by more people per hour, but you're going to be there for less hours. So it's still just as powerful. If you can get the likes on your photo and appear at the top there for a few hours, It's gonna be worthwhile because people always browse location. If they're gonna go somewhere, they check it out sometimes on Instagram. If they're in the city and they're trying to find what's going on. What are people doing? Who's here? Any celebrities here? You can always check that stuff on Instagram. Just check the location of where you are. So that's pretty cool. People use that, I find, and there's no reason not to put that, just because it's not spammy at all. You see here, I have. Where did my mouse go? Well, this is weird. I don't know where my mouse went, but you can see in the bottom there. There's my username, and then the location is neatly and clearly put underneath there. To conclude, hashtags are just the typical tale of an old person who doesn't know what they're talking about. Okay. According to the kids, they're not cool, right? So kids know this platform. None of them use hashtags. Just go. The best thing you can do, and anybody will tell you this. I don't care if you listen to Gary Vaynerchuk or who you listen to, but you should be observing what others do, especially the best, especially the youth. When he talks about, I'm gonna invest in this company. Why are you investing in this company? Why'd you invest in Musical.ly or whatever it was last? He's like, well, the teenagers were using it, right? And that's how he invested in Tumblr and all these other platforms before they even took off. So, it's crazy things going on. And I'm 22, and I see it. My buddy actually married a girl that he met on Instagram. I've dated girls that I've met through Instagram. It's crazy on all levels. It's very, very powerful. So you should really be, if you're young, you might already have a good handle on it. But if you're you're still young if you're 30, but you didn't really grow up with Instagram. So if you're 30 plus, you're going to want to look at what your younger siblings or younger people were doing when Instagram came out, or what they're doing now. So if you're going to use hashtags, you can use them if you want, but please put them in the first comment, because if you put them in the comments, as long as it's the first comment, they'll still put you on all those hashtag pages. So feel free. If you want to do that, go ahead. You can do that. But just don't put it in your description like so many people do. Like 90% of people put them in the description. I'm like, why are you doing this? It just looks like garbage. You could put something so much more powerful there in your comment or in your description to bring value and bring interaction and drive your page to appear on more people's timelines and on the Explore page, etc. Like, use your description, but if you want to use hashtags, throw them in the first comment. If they're in the first comment, they'll count. If they're below the first comment, then delete the comments before you or whatever, just to make sure it's first, because if it's not first, it won't actually appear on the hashtag. So that's all I have for now. See you in the next video.